Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Bo from ZiZZO, and we are doing our second Get to Know Your Customers. And today we are with Mandy Laderer.
Hey, you got it.
Close? Am I close?
Very perfect.
And
Perfect.
she's up in Oyster Bay, New York, and we've been enjoying watching her posts. I've only worked here 8 months, and
Oh,
I love your horses. So she has a stable
thank
up
you.
there, and she has some race horses and
Yeah.
some newborns. She just posted some pictures, so some
Yeah.
colts or
Well, I can't believe this, but I had three fillies all in the space of
oh
1 week. So two are in Ocala and one is here in New York, and we never expected three fillies. So now we have three babies,
oh
three
okay.
fillies. So we're
Wow.
excited.
That's
Yeah.
not so in that world they don't go about figuring out sex to tell you in advance. It's
No, we
just a
don't know in
surprise.
advance, not a sonogram. We can't tell. No, we don't know
Oh.
until the baby's born. And I'm thrilled to have fillies because I've had a lot of I've had a lot of cults and sometimes it's a little difficult. So we're
Oh,
excited.
okay. I know I
Yeah.
noticed that I was doing, I'm a kind of my dad grew up upstate New York in Albany. And
Oh, Saratoga.
Yep. So he was big into ranches and stuff, and so
Hmm.
he loved horses. So he kind of instilled the love for horses. And when I go out on some of my bike rides, there's these three horses that are out way out in the boonies, and they got all this land, but they always just stay right together. So,
Wow. Yeah.
do you
They're
know,
herds.
is there a reason why I would see
Well, they
just
always stick together, but there's always one that's going to be the boss. In fact, not only do I have racehorses, I also retire. I'm very busy. I retire racehorses too. I'm on the board of directors of Rerun, which we retrain, rehome, and any horses that have finished their racing career go on to have a beautiful life with another person. So we do that. I also have three of my retired ones, myself and Ocala. And yeah, they stick together, but they know who's boss, but they like to be together. So
Yeah,
it's
every
nice.
time I go out there and I just take a little picture with them. I say hi to my friends, and it's just funny. I always see them at this. It's almost like the same. They have all this
Yeah.
land, but they hang out at this one place. So anyways,
They don't go too far usually. They might have 5 acres to hang out, but they'll stay in one spot. It's so weird. That's how horses are.
well, you've been posting how much you've liked using the ZiZZO, and ever since I've gotten to do the social media stuff, I've been seeing all the tags on Instagram and stuff. So tell us a little bit before you got your ZiZZO about your bike riding background.
Well, I love biking always, but my biggest problem as you get older is just lifting a bike. I don't put it on bike racks. It's just not for me. So I would take the standard traditional bike and throw it in the car, but it's a lot heavier.
Sure.
And one day, out of nowhere, and I never fall for commercials, but for somehow or some way, it was weird. I was on a YouTube video, and the ZiZZO commercial came on, and I'm like, "Wow, this looks perfect! A folding bike and lightweight. I'm in." I went on your site, and I was so excited. And I'm like, "Let me go through all the ones," and I saw that one was um, 23 pounds, I believe, right? The Libertaire, if I'm
Yep.
pronouncing that right.
Yep.
And I ordered it I didn't even look into any more. I just said, let's just try it. And then, on Win 'em in a prayer, and I did it. It came in. I could not believe it. And I took it out of the box. We just did it, snapped it together, and I took it out. And the looks that I got, everybody's like, what is that bike? What is that bike? So I was going, it's a ZiZZO. It's a ZiZZO. And they're like, what is a ZiZZO? I'm like, come here, come here. You want to feel it? And then they go to lift it. They couldn't believe it. And I'm still getting a great workout. It's a smaller tire. I've taken it everywhere. Fire Island, Jones Beach, Ocean City, New Jersey. There's no place I haven't been with this bike. The weather's been a little crabby, but we're getting back into the nice weather now. And I think you saw the last post when I was in New Jersey. We added National Pet Day Tanner, and we put him on the bike, and that was it. It was just awesome. It fit the bike. Even I was a little concerned that it might be too small. The too big for the handlebars that were small, but perfect.
How does your pup like out there cruising?
he would have stayed out there all day. If he had it his way, he would have stayed out. But I
Well, you're
wanted to
doing the
take it
work.
slowly with him. I'm doing the work. He's taking it in. Everybody's looking around saying, what in the world is going on here? They're looking at the bike and they're looking at the side and they're looking at him and they're just loving it. We just,
That's awesome.
at that bike, anything happens to my bike, I think I will be crying, but it is so durable. I just cannot believe the quality. To be honest with you, I cannot believe the quality in this bike. It's just superior. And I will be looking into that yellow bike that will match my silks for my horse racing. I want to take it up to Saratoga.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you guys out there listening, she had posted that she was interested in the yellow one since it was, I think that's our Campo maybe. And
Yes, the new one, the 22.
and it matched the silks of one of her racing outfits for the horse racing.
The jockey silks. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Hey, the color coordination. There's nothing wrong with
Hey,
that.
it's all about it, right? I got the gray basket to match the gray bike. It's all about fashionista. But we're having such a good time. Honestly, that thing is, you don't even feel like it's so like, I just put my daughter on it. She's going back to California. And I said, you got to think about getting this because it is so lightweight. She's so petite. And I said, you don't even, and you're pedaling it and you can make it hard to pedal, but you can make it light to pedal. And it doesn't feel like you're carrying any additional weight. It's incredible. I love it.
Right. Well, that's awesome to hear. We love to hear you guys all talking about it because, as a business, you're just, you're telling everybody about it and they're like, yeah. You're just trying to sell bikes. You're just trying
No,
to
and I'm telling you, if I haven't told 500 people that I've come across, there are people that are like my age, I'm 58, and their biggest thing was some people were in apartments and they're like, I don't know, I can't schlep it up and down the stairs. I said, look at this. You have to look at this. And it folds and it lifts and it's lightweight and it's perfect. So
right. And
can't get better than that.
Now you said your daughter is coming back to California.
Yes, my daughter lives in California. Two of my daughters. One lives in Marina Del Rey and the other one lives right next door in Venice.
Oh, okay.
So I told them all, they got to get this bike, get on the road. They're social influencers. Do it. Go for it. It's fun.
Are they involved in the horse world?
No, they have their own world. One's married with 2 kids and the other one is a journalist. So she writes articles for many different magazines and stuff. But I said, you want to get around? That's the way to get around, not your skateboard. Get around with that bike. It's perfect. Right. And she loved it. She's never been on it. She just got on it a couple hours ago. She's like, wow, this is awesome.
Well, one of the hard things that's been trying to sell to make people understand now, obviously in Europe and Asia, they're used to these folding bikes.
Right.
They're a total different culture when it comes to this. But out here, there's a lot of people that think they want to have a mountain bike, even if they're not going to go mountain biking.
Right. I think the perception is the folding bike is going to be flimsy and it's not going to feel secure and you're not going to feel safe on it. I feel much safer on this bike than the bike that I have been riding for 10 years. So I will never get on that bike ever again, my big bike, ever. I love it.
Well, that's, we're not coaxing you to say any of these things.
Absolutely not. Everywhere I go, I always say, I got to name my next horse ZiZZO because
that sounds good.
I have an Enzo. I have an O after everything. I said, you know what? A ZiZZO would be great. Make it a mascot. But no, that's how much I really love it. I truly do. This is, truly sincere. I'm truly sincere in what I say.
Right. We love to hear all of that. And do you have any plans of any, I know you said you're busy and I know that world is extremely busy. So when you decide to go out on a ride, are you planning something or is it just kind of
it's really spare between the horses and I'm also a real estate broker of 23 years. So I sell real estate. So it's been cuckoo in the last few months, obviously, but I try to plan it around every schedule. So it's really spare of the moment, like a day before or something like Fire Island. It's great. I mean, if I have 2 hour spot, I'll take it and I'll go to Jones Beach, which is only about a half an hour away. I love it on the boardwalk there. One thing about the ZiZZO bike, it's smooth. It's weird. It doesn't matter what surface you're on. And I'm on the lightweight one. I'm not even on the one that has the tires that are a little thicker, but it is so smooth. It's not bumpy. I've had it everywhere. I haven't put it on the actual sands, but I've been on the boardwalk. I've been through dirt.
Yeah.
I really put it through the ringer, and it is perfect. I haven't even needed to blow up the tire. I don't even understand it. It's unbelievable.
So
And
no maintenance issues so far.
I've had zero maintenance issues. I love it.
Awesome.
I truly love it. And that's why I tag you on it. I would never tag anybody on something I didn't believe in myself. But it's going to be a lot of fun. When I take it up to Saratoga, there's a lot of, to get to one horse thing, to get to another horse thing in the track. I usually rent a golf cart, but I think I'm going to be on my ZiZZO going around
Yeah.
in my derby dresses.
That's okay.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be
Yeah,
fun.
no doubt. And so we're coming up on for you. Is this the busy race season is kind of like
Very.
on us right now, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've had a lot of success in every New York track. I mean, I've been doing this since 2011. So I'm proud to say that I've had 23 wins, 25 seconds, and 58 thirds in the amount of
Wow.
time that I've been in this business. So now we're wrapping up the aqueduct season. We're going into Belmont. And I have a beautiful 3-year-old that has given me a wonderful ride for the last few months. We've had quite a way of wins and stakes wins in aqueduct. We're bringing it over to Belmont. Then we'll bring my 2-year-old who's coming up, and we're going to go and take Saratoga on by a storm with our 2-year-old. So we're
Wow.
excited. We got a lot of fun things in the pike. So
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I saw your results. I was just cruising through your some of your statistics. I didn't even know where to start, and I somehow stumbled upon the listing of your horse that is doing really well over the last few months.
Lady
What's the name?
Milagro. Lady Milagro is a true miracle. Lady Milagro was born and she contracted botulism as a baby, and she was in intensive care for 3 weeks. We took her off life support, and she lived. And I said, well, if she lives, there's going to be a very magical thing with this horse. She broke her maiden as a 2-year-old, and she's she came in third in the stakes race. She's made over $100,000, and she's only raced 6 times. So
Wow.
I'm proud of her. I mean, for a horse that wasn't supposed to survive, it's a true miracle. And
Wow.
hence the name Lady Milagro,
Okay. Okay.
Spanish for miracle.
Yes. Yes.
So, we've had a lot of fun stories, and all the horses that I've raced, I've gone on to retire. They've gone on to have amazing careers. I'm a very responsible horse owner. That's the way you got to be.
Yeah,
So
I
I
agree.
made sure I got involved with Rerun, which is a nonprofit that take the horses off the track, retrain, and we rehome them. And they go on to have amazing careers, hunters, jumpers, show horses. So it doesn't just stop at the racetrack.
Right.
So we
Right.
keep continuing, we follow on, and we keep going, and I love it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way. This was inborn in me. My father took me to the track as a kid and made me gamble at 5 years old. No, and that's how I love the racetrack. And it's just been a dream of mine to own horses, and luckily I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. So
Wow.
I'm
Yeah,
so happy.
that's beautiful to hear you guys do the retiring thing.
Oh,
There's definitely a little bit of a stigma about the horse racing
yes,
thing,
yes,
and so when you talk to people, sometimes because of bad publicity, that's the first thing that pops in their head.
yes,
Sadly,
yes. But more and more people are being responsible. I mean, again, it is a business to a lot of people, and it's a big responsibility to take on, giving money to the retirement places and stuff. But you have to be responsible. If you're going to own racehorses, own up and finish out the whole journey. And
right?
that's been my mission on top of all my other missions, and also to stay fit on a ZiZZO. I've actually, not that I was very I was heavy years ago, but the ZiZZO has really motivated me listen, this is real estate, horses, everything's stress, and the only way I de-stress is on a bike. And it is just so much fun just to throw it in the car and just like lift it up with 2 fingers and like, let's de-stress. I got to
Yes.
distress myself from work, horses, life in general. And like I said, so excited when that box came out and you didn't have to assemble it. You just had to open.
Right,
I
right.
watched the videos. I'm like, this is too good to be true. And I'm like, really? Just have that one lock? That's
Yeah,
it's just
totally.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought when I first started here, I wasn't familiar with these kind of bikes myself. I came from road racing, expensive road
Oh, did
racing
you?
stuff,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I originally was kind of a little bit like, oh, these things are gonna probably fall apart and be cheap, and I was surprised myself. And so a lot of the videos, if you watch any of the videos on Facebook in the last 8 months of somebody riding, that's me. And I've taken
Oh,
these
really?
things, yeah. And so I take these things up mountains and dirt paths and all times I kind of put them through the test and do GoPro video for
That's
content.
awesome. Yeah.
And I'm finding out real quick that like these things are really well made for, and the price you can't beat
The
because
price you cannot beat. And like I said, not that I couldn't put it in the car and take it to my Jersey house, but I just bought another one. I'm like, you know what? I bought two. After that first week, I'm like, I'm buying another one. So I bought another one, get delivered, and keep it down there. And not that I couldn't put it back and forth. I'm like, hey, I got two houses. Let's keep one down there. We'll keep one up here. And then, of course, I got to get the yellow one.
yeah. Well, you got in right before so when did you buy your first
Oh,
ZiZZO?
oh my gosh. I
And
was trying to remember. It was quite you know what? I'm having a senior moment. A really bad senior moment. I think I've had it for at least
pre-COVID, right?
definitely. It was definitely or right around. I mean, that got me through a lot, and I'm trying. And I really wish I could remember that. I wish I put that in my notes. But I've had it for quite a few. It's got to be right around. I think it was right around the COVID or whenever. Yeah, somewhere around there, give or
Yeah,
take.
so two
But
and a
all
half,
I
three
can tell you
years.
is it got me through COVID, and it got me through some very, hard times. I mean, that is my therapy. I don't need, you know, talk therapy. I need bike therapy. And without my bike riding, I go a little, whew.
I
So I'm so
agree.
excited. With this winter has been so darn crazy. I have missed it so much, and I have been doing my inside treadmills and stuff, and that just does not cut it. It won't
Wow.
give you the high, it doesn't give you the endorphin rush that you need, the wind in your hair, and just the sights. It's just great. And I just love when people watch me go by and like, what is that? What is that thing she's on? I'm speeding past the big cyclists, and I'm like, shh. So I was trying to add up all the miles. I was looking on my Fitbit. I must have put I don't even know because when you earn the badges, it says you've been like 60,000 miles a round trip around the world a few times. So it's just amazing. I put so much mileage on it, and like I said, I haven't even blown up the tire. I mean, it's that durable. So I'm really
Wow.
happy.
Wow. That's good to hear. Well,
I know it sounds like a real commercial, but I'm just truly ecstatic about the bike. I love it.
see, yeah, for all our listeners out there, I just basically contacted Mandy to say, hey, let's talk about bikes and horses.
And horses, bikes and
That's
horses.
it. No, there's no lead in to what I
No,
expected.
and I bought, and then of course you came out with the bike basket, which I was ecstatic because my bike baskets weren't fitting on it. So I bought it and I had it delivered a few weeks ago, with just one little learning curve, which was so silly. It was just lift the handlebars up and put it down and put it on. And I love it. I love it. So I
Yeah.
have that for, just for my bag and stuff. And then I use the other thing for Tanner because Tanner's too big for that basket. But I love the basket. And I got cup holders and stuff like that. I mean, I got it jazzed up.
Yeah, it's nice you can kind of personalize it the way you want to do it for whatever it is you
I
need.
adore it. I
But
adore it. And
I,
and please never go out of business because I don't think it'll ever break down, but I always need to have another one.
yeah, sure, we got plenty.
They're like Tic
Well,
Tacs. You can't have enough.
that's right. What is that? It's like N plus one. They call it. How many bikes do you need? N plus one. You always need another. It's okay to have another one.
Well, the funny thing is I love my bike so much I won't even put it in my shed. I don't have a garage. I leave it in my behind my staircase. I'm like, nope, you're not going outside. You're staying right near
I
me.
see it. I see it behind the door.
Yeah, it's there.
That's
That thing goes
awesome.
everywhere with me. I love that thing. Oh, in fact, tomorrow the weather's supposed to be 70. So I'm hoping to get a couple of hours in tomorrow. I'm excited. I can't,
Yeah, if you
this
get out,
weather is
if you
finally breaking so I can do it.
that
Finally.
that's good to hear. I know we get spoiled out here and forget the rest of
Yes.
everybody else is just coming out of winter and not
But I
able to.
have, but I have ridden it, right after a snowstorm when I know it's not too icy. I'll have my hot hands and my scarf and my gloves just to get that. Just let me do 20, 30 minutes. Just let me feel let me do something. But
Right,
now it'll be regular. Now it'll be on a regular basis now, thank God.
right. How
So I'm excited for more adventures. Look out.
yeah, keep tagging us on your pictures and stuff.
I certainly will.
Please, because we enjoy it, and also, of course, the horses, and I
Yeah.
that's a personal thing for me because I love looking at them, and your
Oh, they're
newborn,
so beautiful
they
and they're so
are,
loving and they
yeah,
give so much and they give me so much and I give them so much. It's just a beautiful thing. And like I said, I'm looking forward to having lots of adventures in Saratoga with ZiZZO around the horses.
yeah.
So we'll get some horse shots with the ZiZZO bike, but it's been a fun adventure with the ZiZZO, the horses, my house, real estate, life is great, live it.
That's good. That's great to hear. And
Yeah.
I totally know what you're saying. Everybody that we talk to about bikes, the same thing about like getting on a bike and just the release and the freedom and the feeling that you get when you are de-stressing from the day.
Absolutely. If I didn't have that, I, it's funny, and it's just the fact that I don't have the stress getting in the car, out of the car. The other bike was so stressful getting because I would not use a bike rack, so I would struggle with it in, struggle with it out, and it was just like okay, but I like the biking. Now it's just like all right, just
Yep.
put it in, take it out. It's nothing. And then I go to move my old bike because it's in the way of something in the shed. I'm like, God, it feels like it's 100 pounds. What the heck is going on? And this ZiZZO thing, the Libertaire, 23 pounds. I mean, even the highest one is what, only 29?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What is that?
Heavy
It's
duty.
nothing.
No.
It's nothing.
Have you had any funny incidents where you're on like unfolding it and somebody says something to you like, "What the heck is that?"
Well, everybody, I mean, every time I go to the beach, somebody will come up to me and say, wait a minute, what is this thing? What, I need to see this. And I'm like, it's a ZiZZO. They write it down, they write the phone number down. I said, the lady who said, I can't, I have an apartment, I can't go, I can't schlep this bike. I said, come here, come here, come here. Feel it, the weight. And then she's calling her husband, come over here, you gotta feel this. And I said, you just unclick it, you fold it, you put it down. And honestly, I very rarely fold it. I just throw it in my car the way it is because it's just so easy. It's small enough, even in its open stage, to put it in a car.
Right,
Whatever
right.
you choose to do. To me, I just do it like that. And if I need to fold it, I fold it. But most of the time right now, I just throw it in the back.
Yeah, it is
It's so
amazing
small.
how small it goes down to, huh?
It's
Because
so perfect.
I,
I mean, it's the best invention. I mean, whoever invented that, there are a lot of folding bikes on the market that don't look anything like this bike. And you can see they're struggling. It's heavier. It's just not smooth. It's like a Mercedes of bikes. And that's good thing. And the thing is, and the one thing that I was drawn to it was the fact that it really wasn't that expensive as far as bikes go. So,
right,
hey, what's the worst? I'm out of a few $100s if I don't like it. But the second I got on it, there was no learning curve. It was just
right.
bam. And
You,
I'm 5'6", so I'm not short and I'm not overly tall. But my husband's nearly 6 foot and he's on it. He's fine with it. My daughter who just got on it, she's only 5 foot. So it really kind of works to any level. It's so easy to get that seat up and down. You don't need any tools or anything. It's just easy,
right.
simplicity, make your life easy.
I agree. I agree.
We have enough stress. I don't need to fumble with the seat thing. It's just perfect. I bought the comfort seat. I believe the extra thing, I bought the comfort seat because what woman doesn't want to be comfortable? So I did that. And it was lovely when I ordered that from you guys. And it was great.
Great,
Right
great.
on. I'm away.
Well, I was gonna try to talk you into saying some nice things, but you said them all without me doing it.
Well, like I
So
said,
appreciate it.
it's not for the fact of when I love something, I make sure I protect it, and it's the same way with
Yeah.
real estate. If I love a house, I'll protect it. If I don't love a house, I won't say anything. I'll just walk
Yeah.
through it. But with the ZiZZO bike, the company deserves business. It deserves the customer service was amazing when I was having trouble putting that basket on there. It was such an easy thing. I'm like, why did I not think of that? It was the stupidest thing that I didn't even come up with. And then just having those things just made life a little bit simpler, carrying things and stuff. So I
Right.
can't find, there's no fault other than my Libertaire is not yellow.
Okay, so there you go. There's a last question. I want to.
Libertaire, go yellow.
Okay, she wants some yellow paint out there. Is there anything of all of improvements? Like we're all, our owners listening to all of you ZiZZO owners out there. Is there
Mhm.
anything on the bike or that you could think of that you thought of in the past? Like, I wish they did this, and then there's something you could throw our way.
Honestly, I wish I could say something, but you did answer that one thing was the basket that I was having issues with. I couldn't find a basket that would fit it, a regular basket for a handbag, not a dog basket because it's a different design kind of setup. The other basket is just and then I went on your site and I saw it. I'm like, bingo, that's all I needed. I mean, that was the only thing, and you fulfilled that. So, as far as anything else that I could see you could add, I don't know what because I think
Okay,
it's perfect.
great. A future bike, just change the color and we're good. Add a color.
Well, Campo you have in yellow, Libertaire you don't offer in yellow.
Right.
Libertaire is just I think black and silver, or I
Yeah,
don't know.
silver with a black graphic and silver
And
with a
it's
red
beautiful. Don't
graphic.
get me wrong; it's absolutely spectacular. But for selfish reasons, I say Libertaire on the custom side. We
Okay.
might have to add the Laderer Racing Stables onto the thing.
Oh,
Might
there
have
you
to,
go.
right? But the Campo model, which is the yellow, the 2022, I think that's my next order. So I'm excited. I'm very
Okay.
excited about that.
Wow. That's great. You're gonna have basically one
I'm
for
gonna have a whole
anybody.
fleet. I'm
Fleet.
gonna have a whole fleet of ZiZZO.
You're gonna need a separate barn just for the ZiZZos.
I live in a barn, believe it or not, in Oyster Bay. They say, go live in a barn. I live in a barn, but they stay safe with me inside. Not that they couldn't handle my shed, or I don't have a garage because I live in a barn, but I just, for some comforting reason, it needs to be near me at all times, like a baby's pacifier. It is just my favorite piece. And I used to run a gym before all these careers. I ran a health club back in the day when I was young and vibrant. I had a health club back in 1997, and there's nothing that can compare to being on the outdoors, but there's nothing I haven't tried. I've had step and goes, I've had every kind of outdoor equipment, and there's nothing that I've stuck with longer, where I'm not bored, not tired, and no frustrations, no this, that, the other thing. It's just worked for me perfectly. And I'm 58 years old, and I showed this to a 70-year-old lady the other day, and I said, you can lift it. It's not heavy. And I think that's the point that most people need to see when you're out and about, because I see it's a small bike, but they still think it's relatively heavy until you actually prove them, hey, it's
Sure.
23 pounds. I mean, we went to a park not too long ago, and we must have had a crowd of like 10 people around. What is this? Because I was just lifting it like it was nothing, like with 2 fingers. And I said, try it. You can try it if you want. And then they're writing it down. And I'm like, I promise you, you won't be disappointed. It's really a cool bike.
Well, you must have a bunch of friends that have all followed ZiZZO because for some reason on our statistics of followers on Instagram, New York is the number one of this places to follow.
Really? New York more than California. That's
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Well, you know why? I assume probably because there's a lot of people in Manhattan, these apartment dwellers and stuff. I mean,
commuters,
this is the commuters. That's the kind of thing you need in Manhattan. I
right.
mean, that it's a no-brainer for anybody that lives in an apartment or lives in a city like that. Why not? I mean, that so I can probably see that more, being why it is what it
Right.
is.
It's interesting that New York would have like a bunch, and then it's not even anywhere close to like LA or San Francisco. Don't
Yeah,
have they don't even have the same numbers. So I think
it's
that
weird.
the even though they're both big cities, the level of people commuting by a bike in New York is probably
It's
triple in the Bay
probably
Area.
most likely, yeah, I would assume so. I mean, and there's so many apartments around, that whole area, Queens and Manhattan. It makes sense on that. But if more ZiZZOs were riding around the strip over there where my daughter lives, I'm sure. I mean, it's just a word of mouth, I think, too, because when people see it in person, I mean, obviously that commercial worked. And I never look at those YouTube commercials. I have no idea. It was just one of those things that struck me. And I'm like, wow, I think you started off by saying 23 pounds. That's all I needed to hear. 23 pounds? Where? I'm in. I'm in
That's
23 pounds.
awesome. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, hey, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for some of your time. We really
Oh, I'm
appreciate
so
you.
excited and so honored. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. Such a
Yeah.
pleasure.
And we'll keep up with you. The person you talk to most time, except for the tech stuff, like I think that might have been Tony. Tony's the one that does a lot of the advice on
Oh, he was
any.
great. He took photos. I mean, they were on it like within 3 seconds, and we had it on and up and running. So
Yep,
I don't know. It was some silly thing with me that didn't grasp it, but it completely made sense. But
yeah.
yeah,
I'm
totally thrilled. Thrilled with
glad
the
that.
company, thrilled with the customer service. And I really wish you guys the best of luck because you certainly do deserve it.
Great, great. Well, thank you very much for your time and
My
future
pleasure.
success. I'll be
Oh, so
watching your
happy. I'm
horse.
so happy to talk to you. Yes, follow the horses, and you never know, a Zizzo name might pop up.
I'll be
Might
looking.
have might have to be a Zizzo, a Lady Zizzo or a Mr. Zizzo.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds
All
good.
right. Thank
All
you
right.
so much,
Thanks,
bro.
man. You have a good rest of the evening.
Take care.
All
Bye bye.
right. Bye bye.
Pleasure.